Go! Volcano!
Blow me, boys, I long to hear you. Blow, boys, blow. Oh, blow me, boys, I long to hear you. Blow me, bully boys, blow. A Yankee ship came down the river. Blow, boys, blow. Her masts and spars were all a quiver. Blow me, bully boys, blow. How'd you know she's a Yankee clipper? Blow, boys, blow. By the blood and guts that run in the scuppers. Blow me, bully boys, blow. She's a Yankee ship bound out for China. Blow, boys, blow. And a bunch of beggars, they have signed her. Blow me, bully boys, blow.
Hello. I hope everybody's doing good this fine Thursday evening. I have returned once again to stream. Today we are working on the Gargoyle. This will be a pretty basic one because he's completely made of stone. But I have two different Gargoyles. This one will be the different-ish one. Hi, Emily! Yes, future man Klaus. It is Friday afternoon for you. This one is going to be a little bit different because it's going to be painted like a demon, because it's been sort of relegated to the demon form for the warlock hero, which is pretty cool. But that's not the one we're doing tonight. Tonight we're doing the stone gargoyle. So we're going to have some fun with this one, I think. It's going to be cool to do a little bit of a stone effect on him. But first things first, of course, we need to lay down our base coat, and for that we are going to mix Doom Death Black and Wizard Gray. Wizard Gray, hello, Travis, Defendifer. Welcome to the stream. Wizard Gray, one of my favorite colors, not only because of the name, but because also it's a really good gray. Mr. Dice Man, what are you up to tonight? And what are you up to, Alec? What are you up to, Klaus? All right here. So we're mixing black and the Wizard Gray to create sort of an off black. Doing some 3D printing, 3D print modeling, and print searching. Oh, okay, cool. Very cool. So you're not working this afternoon, Klaus? which must be nice. Alright, so this off black we're going to put on here, we're going to try our best not to hit the cracks. Because there's some nice, like, jagged cracks in here that I want to be, like, completely dark. But the rest of it could be off black. If we get it in there, it's not going to be the end of the world. But the detail on this guy is, like, super great. Like, they put their whole foot into modeling this one. He's a little bit of a bigger model, so... He is going to have some metallics on him, because he's a statue. But the weapons that he's carrying are metallic. And also, there's, like, this, little, like, plate down here at the bottom. That's, like, his... covering up his penis, if he had one, and we'll paint that metallic as well, just to break up the model a little bit. The Mini, it's not a model. I didn't assemble it. That should be my catchphrase. I say that so frickin' much. It's a Mini, not a model. I did not assemble it. It's Waitangi Day. Okay. I'm guessing that has to do something with the indigenous peoples of New Zealand. Wataangi? Waitangi. Is that it? Or do I have to put a little more Kiwi in my voice? Wataangi. Nope, that's Beatles. I'll get there eventually one day, Klaus. Just you wait. Just wait. Just thinking of, just gonna picture, you know, Taika Waititi. Blue and Blackbeard? Nope, that's still Beatles. Resolve Ghost. One of my favorite lines from Thor Ragnarok. Meek's did. I'm trying to get it. I'm getting there. I don't like it when I can't do accents. Very piratey, our playlist tonight. I'm not complaining. All right, just gonna get these wings here. The only thing I'll say negatively about this particular mini is that the sculpt makes it a little hard to paint because I gotta go around his arms. The original HeroQuest Gargoyle was significantly easier to paint because his wings came off. So you could take off his wings and paint him, and it made him a lot easier to paint because his arms were pretty much stretched out in the same pose, but you could take off the wings. Alrighty, well that's all of our off black down. So now we can move on to our wizard gray, which is going to be our mid-tone here. Actually, I might move on to a little bit of a transitional tone here because I'm just worried, just looking at these two colors side by side on my palette, that they're going to be cool. I'll look at it in just a minute. I'm worried that they're going to be a little bit too stark here. I'm actually going to add just a touch of black to take my gray down just a little bit. So this is going to be our transitional tone from shadows to mid-tone. I'm already liking this. So you guys can see, hi Irish! Yes, thank you. It is a very cool gargoyle. I think this is I like this particular mini a lot. In the old HeroQuest box, this particular guy was the he was kind of the centerpiece model or mini, because he was large, and he had a very noticeable presence on the board, and also he was the toughest guy to kill in the entire initial game, because he had the best stats. But it's a very cool mini, and I like this new one a lot. And I'm gonna try to make him look like stone best I can. I have a fun technique that I'm gonna try, and we'll see if it works. There's a lot of cool texture on this mini. I can hear my daughter in the other room just pitching a fit. I don't know what's wrong with her tonight. She has been very needy today. She's usually sleepy around now. Like, usually we don't hear a peep out of her because she's ready to go to sleep. But today she's just been like, the second somebody walks out of the room, she's just like, get back in here. Of course, she can't talk. She's only 2 months old, but you know, the sentiment's the same. She's like, hey, get back in here. You'd be dead asleep, and then the second you walk out, she's like, hey, get back in here. It's like she has a sixth sense. Little baby sense. And the sense is, you're not sitting here next to me. Oh, thank you. Thank you, yes. I think it's coming along nicely, Gargoyle-ish. Big old baddie, yeah. Bob. Bob the Gargoyle. That's not bad. Bob the Gargoyle. Can we kill it? Bob the Gargoyle. No, we can't!
And his name is John C.
Oh, I'm aware, Klaus. And you're correct. I cannot see you. But, she's usually a lot more chill. Like, typically, on a general day, she is, she's pretty fine with just, like, sleeping on her own. And, like, you know, she's okay with it. But, just today it's been, she's wanted people around her. It's just not her typical thing, you know. It's different for her. But she's a baby. She grows and changes every day. Can't expect her to be the same today as she was yesterday. Today she just wanted to be around people. Her brother was even worse when he was a baby. He was always like that. The second you left the room, he was upset. And yeah, because I would stay with home with him and work from home certain days of the week back when I was working and back when he was a little bitty baby. And I would get almost nothing done during the day on my work from home days because he would go to sleep, and the second I would walk out of the room to start doing some work, he would cry. Like, I would literally walk out of the room, he's sound asleep, and I would go to my computer to do some work. I had the door open and everything so I could hear him. And then he would just start crying. Nothing would happen. He just knew that I wasn't there, so he would start crying. It was not very conducive to working at home. And my bosses at the time didn't have enough money to get me a laptop. So I just had to work at night. Unless there was something that had a hard deadline that day. Then I would just need to, like, bite the bullet and, like, put him down near me or something. But there's not really anywhere in my office for him to hang out. Or for her to hang out, for that matter. So, getting stuff done when they're acting like this it's not easy. So, one of the joys of parenthood. Oh, you like the Bob the Gargoyle? That's good. I'm glad. Alright, this gargoyle is caked up. But it's something I've learned painting the majority of these HeroQuest figures. They are all caked up. Listen, Alec, just look at that caked up gargoyle. Just look at it. And also look up the Gargoyles character Demona and tell me you don't get turned on by that. I'm sorry, I just look over at my chat and I see the first, I tap that like a Cabal coffers. Yes, Demona. I mean, she's voiced by, oops, dropped my thing. She's voiced by Mariana Sirtis, the actress who plays Deanna Troi. And, which is funny because Jonathan Frakes voices the main villain of in Gargoyles. He was Commander Riker in Next Generation. A lot of Star Trek crossover with the 1990 series Gargoyles. Keith David was the voice of Goliath. I mean, and John Rhys Davies, Gimli, was the voice of Macbeth the Hunter. So, some good stuff there. And also just a damn good show. Alrighty. Some quality stonework here. I realized I missed a spot up here. Making sure we don't get any paint in the cracks. I love all the texture on this mini. I know I mentioned that before, but I really do. I mean, it already looks very stone-like. Right? There's not much you have to do to make it look like stone. The amount of cool, like, crags and textures there are on this mini. Yeah. It's interesting because, like, the base model, or mini, I keep calling it model, I didn't assemble it. The base mini is already gray. So I guess feasibly it could be just fine without any paint on it, but I mean, what are we talking about here? Tell me not to paint a mini? And the big trick is to not flood those cracks that are modeled into it. Painting all over with that off black really helped make those cracks obvious. So just added just a little bit of contrast to it. My paintbrush is starting to dry out. Fayax, Fia, XIV, Faya14, thank you for the follow. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Hope you're enjoying watching me paint this Gargoyle. Sorry it took me so long to say that. I need to, like, add a drop shadow to my follow alerts or something, because I was like, it was way too confused with the background. I felt very much like an old man, like, yeah, what's that say? I can't read it. Alrighty. Ahoy, ahoy. I assure you it is not the weirdest name that I've seen on Twitch, so. I just don't want to mangle it too much, because, you know, it's your name. But welcome on in if you're working on something or playing a game or whatever it is you're doing. I hope you're having a good time. I'm having a good time painting this here gargoyle. concentrating so I don't Goylgar, the reverse gargoyle, cut the League virus? What does that mean, Alec? What does the League virus mean? I have to know. Is it just means that you're playing a lot of League of Legends because you're obsessed with it? Or does it mean that you got a virus from League of Legends? Like computer or physical? Like you got like, I don't know, COVID from playing League of Legends. Dude, if you could catch COVID over online games, nobody would have survived the pandemic, because that's all people were doing. I know that's what I was doing. Oh, the virus that forces you to play. Gotcha. All right, I understand now. You were working during the pandemic as a essential worker. I was a teacher when the pandemic rolled out, and it was just my second year teaching. It was enough to make me never want to teach again after the year afterwards. Oh. Yeah, well, I guess you weren't that didn't have to deal with people that much. Soul! Welcome on in, friend. I need to move this up a little bit because I keep bringing like my guy here. This is the really tricky part because I'm trying to not color in the cracks, and I have to do it while painting underneath the arm. Ugh. Ooh, I just bonked my head on my camera. Thank you. I appreciate a vote of confidence. My music stopped. Hang on. Let me go see what's going on here. It just stopped for some reason. Okay. Refresh. Pretzel. Hello? Okay. Weird. Just decided when to stop. Ugh. Excuse me. How long have I been painting for? Let's see. Probably... At this point, 10 years? Yeah, 10 years sounds right. I started in around 2015, painting Warhammer figures. I just taught myself how to paint watching YouTube tutorials. And I've sort of been painting off and on ever since. I never really took that long of a break, but I would go through long periods of time where I didn't touch a brush. And I'd usually take like maybe like a month or so off and then come back, paint something. Oh, keep bonking my head on my camera. It's a bit of intense focus there. It's usually what I do is long periods of intense focus, painting, and then I turn head to look and see if Chad has said anything. That's how the streams usually go. Oh, come on. Gotta find the best angle of attack here. Oh, good. Thank you. Glad it works. I just don't want chat to feel like I'm ignoring them, which, you know. If I was playing a game or something, it would be easier for me to keep up with chat, but it's a little more difficult when you're painting miniatures to keep up with chat consistently, and also because I have to physically turn my head in order to look at my computer. So it's funny if you ask the question like, how long have you been painting? I'm waiting for one of the days where somebody comes into the chat and like, you know, how long have you been painting? And I'm like, 10 years, about 10 years, or 10 years at this point. And I'm waiting for them to just respond, oh, you think if you've been painting that long, you'd be better at it. Mostly just because that's sometimes I'm gonna skip the Gregorian chant. Sometimes that's how I feel about it. Oh, Travis, you want to know how long I've been painting? About 10 years. Probably 10 years at this point, yeah. Oh, well. Well, thank you, Klaus. And thank you, Travis. I appreciate the support. I'm not the best mini painter out there, but I am, I would say I'm above average. I would give myself a solid above average. Yeah, the stone's coming out really well. And we just got one more wing with this color, so then we can just move on to midtones. What is going on with my brush there? Yeah, I mean, I understand that. I don't have the sturdiest hands either, but I guess they're not super shaky. I don't know, I guess I just haven't really ever thought about it. thin down just a little bit too much. More black. That's why it looks so different. I was like, why does this color look so different? Yeah, I think most people do have at least some kind of shaky hand. I mean, like, nobody has, like, completely sturdy, like, solid as a rock hands. At least I don't think so. There we go. What about Fia? Do you paint or faux? How you never told me how to pronounce it, but it's okay. Do you paint minis? Been trying for a bit over a year now. Oh, okay. What have you been trying to paint? Alright, looks like we're done with this color. Oh, Infinity. Yeah, I know Infinity. I don't think Faye's on the Diff and Dice Discord server, Klaus. Not everybody who comes to my streams is, believe it or not. Oh, sorry. Issue on my nose. Let me grab a tissue real quick. I'll talk about Infinity when I get back. I just need to grab a tissue.
There is a tavern in the town, and there my true love sits him down.
That's my exit. No worries. I kind of hijack a channel in there to like tell people when I go live and stuff. And it's a very inclusive community. If you're interested. Yeah, if you like Travis is a more well-known creator than me. He makes dice with dice. And I just leech off of his fame. Like some sort of magical parasite. But Infinity. Yeah, if you... Alec, if you're listening, since you're a mod, you can drop a link to the Discord server in the chat if you want. I do not have my own personal Discord server, mostly because I don't have a community that's big enough for one, so... But yeah, Corvus Belli, Infinity. Yeah, I like the Infinity models a lot. They are they're mostly metal, if I recall correctly. Which is, it's fun to work with metal sometimes. I do like working with metal models. I've done a couple of them. They're kind of a pain in the ass, but I enjoy it in a very particular way. It is free. Absolutely free. Thank you, Klaus. I don't have... It would be a very quiet Discord if I made one. Yeah, no, metal can be a bit intimidating. I know that, but you said that they did some plastic. I think they're, they did that, what was it called? Warcrow? It was, it was like a fantasy skirmish game. I think those were plastic as well. Yes, indeed. That is my channel. That is the channel that I post when I go live in, and updates. Like if I'm not going to stream or something, I just let folks know in there. So if you're gonna be a repeat viewer, it's a good place to hang out for updates and junk. That's for sure. But I was gonna talk about Infinity some more. What is your what faction are you painting or looking to paint? I know some of the factions. I thought about picking some up at some point, but they were just a little too rich for my blood at the time. But all the rules are free, which is awesome. Pan-Oceania. Gotcha. So are those... Is that the blue faction? Gotcha. Okay, cool. I call them the blue faction. It's the only way I can differentiate between them, because there's a lot of those power armored guys in Infinity, which, you know, there's a lot in Warhammer 40k too. Yeah, those are really cool. I mean, like, they're very cool looking models. So I would understand why you would want to paint them. I was thinking about picking up some of the alien guys. What were they called? Like Malarg or something like that. I can't remember. Those are the ones that I was interested in. I like the aliens. Yeah, it's the nature of the beast. Unfortunately. I mean, Warhammer, Games Workshop at this point is a multi-billion-dollar company. I mean, they're producing a show with Henry Cavill, for Christ's sake. So... people keep buying that plastic crack for some reason. I haven't bought a Warhammer book in at least 2 years. And I bought one model kit. It was a single character. Last year because I really wanted to paint it. That was it. It's because everything's too damn expensive, man. Warhammer is just so freaking expensive now. I mean, like, $70 for a book. When I first started playing, it was like $50 for a book. I mean, that's still a lot, but, like, you know, it's a big price jump for something that really hasn't changed or improved that much over the years. It's just a book. Yeah. Eisenhorn is pretty cool. I mean, the novels are pretty good too. The Eisenhorn mini is pretty cool. But yeah, I got into Warhammer 40K because a buddy of mine was, he was like, you know, hey, do you want to start playing Warhammer 40K with us? We're all going to go and buy some models and start playing. And I had just started playing the game Space Marine on my Xbox 360. And it was all Warhammer. That's whole Warhammer 40K. And it was the original Space Marine, not the sequel that came out last year, which was very good from what I heard. I didn't get it because video games are expensive. And I was like, hell yeah. I'm going to play Space Marines. How complicated could it be? And this was 7th edition. So it was pretty complicated. But I liked it well enough. I wasn't very good at it. I lost almost every game that I played. But that's why I said, you know, hey, I'm going to paint these minis as best as I can. So if I can't win the games, at least I can look good while doing it. And here we are. What? Too many Space Marine factions? What you mean? Just the 8 core legions and or the 8 core Space Marine factions, and then the various successor chapters that you can paint. A lot of boys in power armor, that's for sure. My favorite faction, though, is the orcs. After I started playing more, I was like, well, I like these Space Marines fine, but I'm really in love with the orcs. Because they're just random nonsense. They're not good at shooting. They're really good at close combat. And they're just hilarious, because all their technology works because they believe it does. Which is one of the funniest things in the world. Exactly. Ooh, yeah, the Adeptus Mechanicus are very cool. I like the way they look. If you're interested in Warhammer 40k lore, and you just want to know like what the factions are and how which ones are the coolest ones, there's a YouTuber named Bricky. He has this very good, like, concise, like, breakdown of, like, the basic lore behind all of the factions. It's a very, I mean, like, you know, it's good to, like, put it down in the background and, you know, just kind of listen to it while you're, like, doing something else. But because they're very long videos, but it's a very good succinct description of all of the Warhammer 40k factions if you're interested. If you go check out his videos, tell him I sent you. He has no idea who I am, and I would just think that would be funny. Hey, this random YouTuber / Twitch streamer told me to come watch your videos. I'm sorry, who? Yeah, you don't know him. Okay, bye. I also really like the Leagues of Votan, because they're space dwarves. And dwarves are like my favorite fantasy race. They're also the newest faction in the game. But that is beside the point. Yes, Age of Sigmar is very cool. I think it kind of had a rocky start. I like the Skaven. Yes. But it definitely had a rocky start when it came to, like, you know, lore and stuff, and people got mad because they were taking away Warhammer Fantasy, which just came back anyway, in the form of the Old World, which is something I'm also interested in. There's too many miniature games out there that I'm interested in. Yeah, I remember when they announced Age of Sigmar and that they were ending Warhammer Fantasy Battles. There was a guy who posted a video of himself burning his army. I hope he feels like an idiot now. Like literally setting his army on fire. It was just so stupid. Because you could still use those figures in Age of Sigmar for a little while. But with for Age of Sigmar, I really like the I like the two dwarf factions. I like the whatchamacallits. The dwarf steampunk pirates and airship pirates, and I also really like. I do like the Hearthkin berserkers. Basically the Slayer faction. Because I like the Slayers in the Old World War. They're very cool. Just the idea of like this whole like dwarves that have like dishonored their like family and like clan or kingdom or whatever. They take an oath to go out and die in glorious battle to the biggest, most badass thing they possibly can and kill everything in their path in attempts to redeem themselves. And also, I like Gotrek. Of Gotrek and Felix. Oh yeah, he wasted all of his all of it. I think. Excuse me. I can't remember which army it was. I think it was a Tomb King's army, and that was like a big like sticking point that Tomb Kings weren't going to be in Age of Sigmar. But still, it's a very stupid thing. Because you could still use them in Age of Sigmar. They were legends, quote unquote, but now the old world is back, so you can use all your Tomb Kings. Yeah, I agree. I think it was a very stupid thing for him to do. I think he was very dumb, and I mean, just put him on your shelf. I think that was his form of quote-unquote protest. And he was like expressing his distaste at Games Workshop invalidating his army. Which I can understand being upset by, like, you know, if you spend a lot of money and, like, you know, collected this army and put a lot of effort and time into, like, painting it and stuff like that, And then all of a sudden the game that you play is no longer supporting that army. I can understand being upset, but I don't think lighting them on fire is the answer. Just throwing that out there. I think it's a very silly thing to do. My wife just came through to take out the recyclables. She was trying not to disturb me. I don't think she saw me looking up at her. Yeah. I can't remember who the guy was. He might have been a British guy. I don't remember. I'm sure if I Googled it, I could find out who it was. Because, you know, Google has the answers to everything. And I wish every day that I could turn off the AI search results up at the top. Because the majority of the time, they're not worth it. Because they contradict the things that I'm looking up. Or they don't completely explain what I'm looking up. So I'm just like, just let me look at the websites. Don't put the stupid AI search thing up at the top. Ugh. That's my old man yells at cloud portion of the day. Don't much care for all these robots coming into our lives, trying to tell us how to live our lives. Grumble, grumble, grumble. I don't know, Klaus. Technology, usually. People get rid of technology. And the old man yells at cloud is from The Simpsons, Alec. So I can't take credit for it. But thank you. As for color, well, he's stone, but there'll be some highlights or something. There'll be a little bit of highlights, and I'll probably add a little bit of weathering to it to make it a little you know, to break it up just a little bit so it's not completely gray. But he is made of rock, and there's going to be some metallics on there as well. So... You use your stuff till it dies. Most Kiwis do. Yeah, well, I do too. My new phone is the first new phone I've had in 7 years. So, and the only reason I replaced it is because my old phone literally held no charge anymore. Like, it would die like halfway through the day if I didn't charge it. So it was like, all right, well, I think it's about time to replace her. You're okay. I think I just need to do the inside wings, and then we are good with our mid-tone color. I'm just going to grab the claws real quick, just so I can focus on the inner wings. Alrighty. So that's our midtones for the stone. Good to know, Cloud. I like being chill. That's kind of the whole vibe of the stream. It's just relaxing, you know. If you're working on something, work on what you're working on. If not, just come and hang out, chill out. If you're trying to fall asleep, you know, that also helps. I'm glad the cozy vibe is what I'm going for here. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of an experiment here. This is something I've not done before. A sharp X-Acto knife. So I'm gonna attempt to use a sponge to do some highlights. So I'm using, like, I don't know if this is gonna be the right kind of sponge for this. And the whole point for this is to, like, get a little texture in my highlight. Instead of brush strokes, you create little splotches, and it creates like a little more it creates like a little bit more of a texture, we'll say. So I'm going to use this like makeup sponge and some tweezers, and I'm going to dab it in paint, and then I'm going to just get a little bit of paint on there, and I'm going to splotch it on the model or the mini in order to create texture. So I'm going to be using ash gray for that. More gray, I know. So I'm just going to get a little bit on here. Wow, that was way too much. I just spread it around with the brush. So I'll try to do something a little bit different. I'll get some paint on the sponge. I'll dab it off on my paper towel over here first. So let's try on this blade here, because it'll like a nice flat surface. It's a little bit more what we're looking at, or what we wanted. The only problem with this technique is that I have to grip the sponge so tight in these tweezers. Kind of hurts my hands. It's kind of working. It's kind of doing what I want it to do. You guys probably want to see what's happening here. I gotta find a grip that works for me. Because I don't want to kill my wrists and hands doing this. So these tweezers were not designed for this kind of thing. Oh! Busts to paint. Not off the top of my head. Nothing comes to mind, unfortunately. I don't paint a lot of busts and stuff like that. Why don't I just use the straight up makeup sponge? Just use my hands with that. Yeah, that's doing it. Yeah, I wanted to try. I've seen this before, the sponge technique, but I've never tried it before. But, like, I think that this kind of, like, texture, on like a stone kind of texture, is perfect for this. Because it's kind of porous, you know? The way that it applies. I can't remember which episode it was, Faye. But there was an episode of Trapped Under Plastic, a podcast that I listen to occasionally. It's for two YouTubers. They're called Ninjon and Scott Miniac. They do a podcast where they talk about things, and they were talking about websites to get miniatures that aren't like Games Workshop. And they brought up some really good miniature, like they were talking about like academic busts and stuff like that. So I can't recall the websites that they were talking about on there right off the top of my head right now. But I recommend that podcast in general. They're funny and they impart some good mini painting wisdom. If you go over there, tell them I sent you. And they don't know who I am either, so it'll be equally as funny. Chuck the Blue Wizard sent me. Who's that? You don't know. I am a member of Ninjon's Patreon, so he may vaguely have some semblance of awareness that he has a patron that goes by that name. Well, I was skeptical at first, but I think that yeah, I was skeptical at first. The sponge thing worked out. It worked out pretty well. Yeah, I've seen other people do this before, and I was like, I don't know if that's gonna work for me. But I think the stone texture really benefits from the sponge treatment. I wouldn't use this on everything, but I think stone is definitely a material that I would use it on. I'm just going to hit these wings with a little bit more highlights. And then I think we're going to move on to our final stone highlight, and then we can go on to other details. Yep, that worked out pretty nicely. Maybe the wings, I think the wings need just a little bit more because I'm seeing some streaks in there that could probably benefit from just a little bit more. I don't want to overdo it because I don't want it to become just one, like, contiguous coat, you know? But I did see some spots that needed some attention. All right, I think that worked out. I'm just hitting some rough highlights on some areas that need to be highlighted that the sponge couldn't quite get to. I was going through it, adding a few little dots in there, like rough scratches. Okay. Yeah, I like Ninjon a lot. I watch a lot of his videos, and because he's very good and also very entertaining. Yeah, I have some 3D printed minis that I've printed. And most of them look pretty good. This is one that I've primed. This was somebody online designed this one. I can't recall their name at the moment, but it came out pretty good in my 3D printer, so I'm not gonna complain about it. But yeah, this was 3D printed with resin. An old man nap. I take those all the time, but I'm older than you, Klaus. To be fair, mine was a gift. I did not ask for it. I mentioned offhand to my good friend Travis at one point. I was like, yeah, I'd love to get a 3D printer at some point and do some 3D printing and stuff. And then I go off on vacation. He's like, you have a package on the way. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, you did that. Alright, I'm gonna add just a couple more highlights. I'm mixing the ash gray with some brigade gray. And this is just gonna be a very selective highlight here. We're gonna do the face in particular. But I'm very selective as to what I use my I use my 3D printer on, Faye.
Spent all me tin on the lassies drinking gin. Far across the western ocean I must wander. Oh, where is me bed? Me noggin bed. It's all done for beer and tobacco.
I'm just picking out the details on the face here.
And the mattress is old war. And the springs are looking out for better weather. And it's all for me grog, me jolly grog. All for me beer and tobacco. Spent all me tin on the lassie drinking gin. Far across the western ocean I must wander. Where is me girl, me noggin girl? All gone for beer and tobacco. For I loaned her to a Greek, he abused her for a week. Far across the western ocean I must wander. And it's all for me grog, me jolly grog. All for me beer and tobacco. Spent all me tin on the lassies drinking gin. Far across the western ocean I must wander. And it's all for me grog, me jolly grog. All for me beer and tobacco. For I spent all me tin on the lassies drinking gin. Far across the western ocean I must wander.
I'm just hitting some of the areas that I really want to like highlight. Like the fingers, the face. Places where the light would hit hard, or like the edges of these knees here. Because I don't want to undo all that sponge work that I did and get rid of all that texture. That would just be silly. Like, why did I do all that? And all I'm gonna do is go over all of it. But there's a few sharp edges that just need a little bit of a highlight. And we're gonna put some happy little highlights here. I think I managed to miss that whole arm with the sponge. It's impressively stupid. Cool. Sees you, Klaus. Really? You'd go crazy? Well, I knew that this guy was gonna be rock and stone, so I had already sort of like, you know, told myself, well, probably gonna be mostly gray. Just get the edge of this blade here, which looks like kind of like a ripped down part of a like decorative sconce to fight with or something. Alrighty. Gonna hit the points of his wings, like he's got little spinities on his wings. Have to make sure to paint the spinities. Need to make sure we paint using consummate V's. Yes, rock and stone, Alec. Rock and stone. I enjoyed that game. I'd go back to it. Deep Rock Galactic. Alrighty. I'm going to do one final highlight of highlights on the face. And I think that that will be it for the grays.
Once I loved with fond affection one whose thoughts were dear to me, until there came a dreary parting. Nevermore he'll speak to me. Go and leave me if you wish to. Never let me cross your mind. If you think I proved unworthy, might love that you lay sleeping, dreaming of some sweet repose, while I, a young girl, live broken-hearted, listening to the wind that blows. Go and leave me if you wish to, never let me cross your mind. If you think I proved unworthy, go and leave me, I don't mind. Here's the ring that first you gave me, when our hearts made well entwine. Give it to the dark-haired lady, she'll never know it once was mine.
Alrighty, well I think that's it for our stone highlights. I'm gonna do the eyes real quick. And then we can play around with weathering effects and stuff. Alright. Somebody sound the alarm. Woo, 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 woo. Sexy gog times.
Once I loved with fond affection, one whose thoughts were dear to me.
I should put the sexy gogs emote in the Twitch chat so people can spam the sexy gogs emote whenever I put on my sexy gogs. The one that's on the Diffin Dice Discord server.
Never let me cross your mind. If you think I proved unworthy, go and leave me, I don't mind.
Am I not beautiful? I've got too much paint on me brush. Okay. And we're gonna add a little bit of off-white here. Did I already get it? I did. This is Trooper White. Okay. So the last touch with the eyes. So we go for the eyes, boo. Is we're going to add Imperial Fist. To just very quickly do these eyes. So a little bit of contrast paint. You got some lovely yellow glowing eyes there. Thank you. And the sexy gogs come up. Thank you, Faye, for hanging out. Thanks for the follow. Have a good night. I probably won't be on for too much longer. Myself. Because it is nearly 11 p.m. Alrighty. Now let's go ahead and do the weapon. We're going to do the blade, of course. We're going to do it silver and dwarven iron. Okay. I think we'll also do the haft of the axe in silver. gonna do gold for the accents. Actually, what about his little penis guard there? We could do that in some silver as well. Add a little bit of silver to the penis guard and then the rest in gold. Okay, now that is our silver. And now we'll do our gold accents. That's going to be dragon's gold. Spoon Handle. Thank you for the follow. I love that name. Spoon Handle. It's good. I like it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. If you're working on something or playing a game, I hope you're having a good time. Thank you. Yes, HeroQuest. No. Got some gold on my silver. It's fine. I'll just clean it up in a second. HeroQuest is the best game ever. Anyone who says otherwise is wrong. Yeah, I really like this gold Irish. Spoon Handle, I'm only assuming that you, Yes. Same here. I just haven't got Wizards of Morcar yet. I wasn't foolish enough to, I was foolish not to pre-order it early, but, you know, here we are. But do you know what I'm referring to when I say that, Spoon Handle? Have you seen that video? HeroQuest is the best game ever. It's like a rite of passage for HeroQuest people, if you haven't seen it. But yeah, I backed it as well. As soon as it came up, I backed it. Because the HasLab campaign launched on my birthday, and I was like, well, happy birthday to me. I was so excited to get it when it came out. Yes, it is a funny YouTube video. From a gentleman who calls himself the Bard. I'm slowly going through painting all of my HeroQuest. I don't have all of it primed, but I've got this. I got the base game and the first two expansions and some various sundry some other expansions primed. But so that's what I'm going through right now. Yeah, I don't know what Hasbro's doing. It makes me just a little nervous, because, I mean, you know, I have, like, zero confidence in Hasbro, but, you know, it's got supporters and and people who, like, you know, like consistently buy every expansion, so you think that they would be pleased with it. But you never know. I have zero confidence in them as a company to make good decisions that are consumer friendly. All right, Spoon Handle. penis cover. All painted. Alright, we'll hit this with some shades here. Let me get my Nuln oil. I will need that. Then get this for later. Then that's more Nuln. My Agrax shade. There it is. So we're gonna hit the silver with the Nuln oil. My watch is yelling at me to charge it before I go to sleep. Or when I go to sleep. Because my watch doesn't last too long during the day. I mean, it lasts all day, but it's almost dead by the time I go to bed at night. I honestly just wear a smartwatch still, so I'm not staring at my phone all day. No other reason. Oh yeah? You like it, Alec?
My grandfather's clock was too large for the shelf, so it stood 90 years on the floor. It was taller by half than the old man himself.
I forgot to do the shaft of the axe.
It was bought on the morn of the day that he was born. It was always his treasure and pride, but it stopped short, never to go again when the old
Jiminy Paints.
died. 90 years without slumber.
Thanks for the raid. Welcome on in. We are painting some we're painting a HeroQuest Gargoyle here.
Short, never to go again when the old man
Thank you for the follow.
in watching its pendulum swing.
Welcome on in, Raiders.
Many hours had he spent while a boy.
Ah, let's do a shout out, shall we?
The clock seemed to know and to share
There.
both his grief and his
How we do
joy.
things.
For it struck 24
Yes, so.
when he entered in the door with a blue
Jiminy
beautiful bride. But
Paints.
it stopped short, never to go again when the
Ba-bam.
old man died.
Welcome on in, Raiders.
90 years
Jiminy.
without slumbering. Tick-tock,
What were you painting?
tick-tock, his life seconds numbering. Tick-tock, tick-tock, but it stopped short, never to go again when the old man died. My grandfather said that of those he could hire, not a servant so faithful he found. For it wasted no time and had but one desire, at the close of each week to be wound. For it kept in its place, not a frown upon its face, and its hands never hung by his side. But it stopped short, never to go again when the old man died. 90 years without slumbering. Tick-tock, tick-tock, his life seconds numbering. Tick-tock, tick-tock,
Ooh, Tharkos from Squidmar's Kickstarter. Is that the new Kickstarter?
An alarm that for years had been dumb, and we knew that his spirit was pluming for flight, that his hour of departure had come. Still the clock kept its time with a soft and muffled chime as we silently stood by his side. But it stopped short, never to go again.
Ooh, that's a cool model.
90 years without slumbering. Tick tock, his life second numbering.
Ah, Champions of Sona. Okay, so let me look at this. Look at it. I'm stopping the stream dead to just look at these while I wait for the shades to dry.
Short, never to go again. When the old
Prince Tharkos. Okay. Are you gonna show me the miniature? Okay, probably on the campaign. Ah, yes, that's very cool. Why are we doing Auld Lang Syne? Alright, let's... Okay. Very cool. I'll show it to everybody. So this fellow right here, the one with the sword on the left, correct? You can't see my cursor, but that guy. Very cool. I like that model a lot. Like it. Very cool. Well, welcome on in. Yeah, we're picking some HeroQuest. Woo. My phone was all wonky. That's what I'm using for my camera. But yep. We tried a little bit some different stuff tonight. We did a little bit of a sponge technique to get the texture on the stonework, which I think it came out looking pretty good. I've never done it before, but thought I'd give it a shot. I wouldn't use it like on anything, but I think something that's like stone or something like this is definitely benefits from that sponging texture, because it kind of makes it look a little porous. It's a little bit of an uneven highlight. So, I like it. I noticed one thing I kind of want to do while I'm here. I'm going to add a little bit of highlight to the glowing eyes. Let's add a little bit of ice yellow to it. Thank you. I'm going to do a little bit of weathering to it, I think, after we finish all the like basic colors and stuff. Because it is very gray. So we need something going on here. Well, it's that time again. It's Sexy Gog time. Time for the Sexy Gogs. I can't claim Sexy Gogs. That's a a ninja on original. That's just what I've called them ever since I watched his videos and he started calling them that. Alright, so we're going to add a little bit of ice yellow to the middle of these eyes. I think I actually want to water it down a lot more. I don't know if you can see what that did, but it made the eyes just a little bit paler. Very nice. I highly recommend them. If you're a miniature painter and you don't have a pair of sexy gogs, just get some. These are not very expensive. Got them on Amazon for pretty cheap. They make painting eyes like so much easier. Just because, and then also I've noticed the older I get, you do, honestly, because like you can get in there and it just like zooms in on the details. And these have a headlamp, but the headlamp on this one isn't so great. The batteries are a weird size and they tend to die. But if you got enough light, I recommend them because they come in damn useful when you're painting tiny details. And when you're old and you're looking at something, you're just like, did I get all that? And it's really funny because I will paint something like from afar, and then I'll put on the sexy gogs to look at it and see if, like, to get something else. And I'll look in it and I'm like, oh my god, really? it's like high res. So it's very useful. All right, so let's go ahead and finish off our metallics. We're gonna use some silver first. Gonna use our coat silver.
Shirt and get it out on bail. If me friends did me despise, well, I'd up with me fist and I'd black their eyes. And it's old brown ale, old brown beer, bonny little brown jug that I love still. In comes the landlord, jovial and fat. He's got on his peaked feathered hat. He serves your beer till his cellar runs dry, and he don't give a damn if you live or die. And it's old brown ale, old brown beer, bonny little brown jug that I love still. Now the brewer brews it in the
Every time I paint with metallics, I hear things in my head because, like, not like a crazy person, but like I just feel like I should try to get good at non-metallic metals, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, I've tried it and I'm not very good at it. But then I say, but you haven't practiced it, and you know, I don't think necessarily have to, and definitely something like a board game, I would not. like painting like HeroQuest minis. I would not try to do non-metallic metals on all of them. It's just, it seems absolutely ridiculous to try to do that. But still a part of me is like, you know, you're never going to level up as a painter unless you try. And I tried. But my other problem is I don't know if I did it correctly. So it's just one of those skills that I do not possess at the moment. Would like to, but I don't know if I ever will be able to devote enough time to be able to do it. But I think metallic metals are also very, you know, charming in their own right. Spin, I guess that would work for some people. Yeah. I like the way the NMM works. Or looks. Here, I'll put on this this metallic, and I'll show you my attempt, and you tell me if it looks like shite or not. There we go. So I actually have it right here because I was doing a couple of like test models for a squad just to try it out. Ugh. I was painting some orcs. So I'll put this guy off to the side. So these are my 2 attempts at non-metallic metals, and I don't know if I did them correctly. This one I feel like I added too many highlights, and this one I feel like I didn't add enough. Do they? Well, it's good to know. But yeah, I'm always nervous to try it because I'm just like, does it look good? I don't know. Does it? So those are that was my attempts at non-metallic metals. I'd have to definitely brush up again. All right, gonna add our gold highlights. And that is gonna be glistening gold. Okay. Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad to get some live commentary on them because I just did them for like a video on my YouTube channel, and I was just like, I guess they look okay. And then some people offered some CNC, and you know, it's one of those things. Is you're kind of like, you know, especially if you're doing it for the first time, you're kind of like, I guess this looks okay, but the stark contrast that's good. So I'm glad I got something good. But yeah, the problem with it is that I have this thing where I feel called out by YouTubers whenever I watch their videos. Like for instance, when I watch Zumikito's videos and he calls metallics paints, he calls them toy paints, and that just hits me in the heart every single time. I'm just like, I feel so judged by you, Zumikito. If you know who that is, you may not know. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I do have I have a YouTube channel, Jiminy, where I have posted some videos. I haven't posted any videos in a long time, but that's gonna change soon. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of streaming recently, which is a little bit easier. But Zumikito is very good. Thank you, Travis. Yes, he does display competition pieces that he hates army painting. Yeah. But every time he calls it toy paint, I'm just like, they're not toys. That's also true. don't put arbitrary restrictions on how other people should paint. I have no such restrictions. I say paint with whatever you want. Find the style that you like and use it. I mean, I don't even care if like I mean like I've never gotten Slap Chop to work for me. Yeah, so welcome on in, Flagonborn. Ooh, that's a good one, Travis. Paint with their feet. Just, you know, get them toesy woesies in there. So yeah, but thank you for the follow, Flagonborn. Yeah, I like Zumikito's videos. I used one of his videos to do non-metallic metals, and amongst others. And I was just kind of like, you know, trying to figure out how to do it. And that was sort of the principle behind the video was I watch a bunch of videos about, you know, about non-metallic metals and then try to use them all to copy or to figure out how to do it myself. But yeah, I've never gotten Slap Chop to work for me. People swear by it, but I taught myself how to paint miniatures by watching Duncan Rhodes paint a Space Marine because that's what I wanted to paint for my first miniature. I just followed him step by step, and then I just sort of expanded out from there. You're talking about Vince from ShamWow, Travis? Yeah, that's very true. There's a lot of that going on with, like, you'll look at a YouTuber paint, and then you'll be like, you know, why doesn't mine look like that? I think Vince from ShamWow did go to jail for beating up a prostitute, I think. But Slap Chop is a style of painting. to give you a rough explanation of what it is, Travis, is that you take a primed black miniature like this one, and you dry brush it a white or gray, and probably white, and then you use contrast paints like this one, and you go over that, and it creates like a nice contrast very quickly. I've never gotten it to work well. The one figure that I did slap chop on, I still did too much on it and ended up having to do extra on it. Dark gray, interesting. Let me see if I have it. I do have it. So I ended up doing too much on this one anyway, because I can never leave well enough alone. It's a little dusty. But this was my slap chop attempt. The beard is probably the slappiest, choppiest part of it. And the green armor. And the black is also a slap chop, but I dry brushed it with a little bit of silver to give it a shine afterwards. And then I did a ton of bronze trim because I do too much. It was like, this was supposed to be a quick method for painting a whole bunch of these tiny little dwarves, and I'm like, I just made this color scheme more complicated than I needed to. But it doesn't look terrible, but I don't like the way that it looks, because I just look at it and I'm like, there's way too much texture in like the back section here. It's just too much. But yeah. So that's the one time I tried slap chop. So now I'm thinking about what I want to do to add some weathering effects to this guy, and maybe like a couple of pops of some earth tone colors instead of just gray. That's true. Because if I don't add any weathering or anything to this, I mean, he's pretty much done. Oh, Spoon. I've got so many HeroQuest minis that I've painted. I mean, this is a HeroQuest mini, of course, but I've painted, at this point, I've painted almost the entirety of the core set and almost all of Return of the Witch Lord and Keller's Keep, and almost everything. In there, in the mythic tier as well. Yeah, moss growth. I was thinking. I was trying to figure out how I might accomplish that. I was thinking about using maybe like a shade on some of the cracks, like some camo shade. To like maybe add a little bit of like green in there. I suppose there's only one way to see if it looks good. And that is to try it. I don't want too much of this on my brush. So let's take a look right here on the chest. Yeah. I have that same problem with some of them, that that their weapons are kind of warped. Hey, it looks pretty good actually. That little bit of green looks a little old and weathered. And then we could add some tarnish to the weapons and the penis protector. I've heard that on the old HeroQuest Reddit, that's right, I'm on the HeroQuest Reddit. Someone recommended the hot water method, which is basically yeah, that does look pretty good. Like the green, it adds a little bit, like, you know, I could even add like a little bit of a. You're just like a little bit of a, like some streaks going down, like he has been out in the rain. But which is basically like you soak them in some very hot water, and then basically once you take them out and bend their weapons back and into place, and it's a little less intense than a heat gun. And you can do it with painted miniatures, I've been told. I haven't tried it yet. So caveat there. But you can do it with painted miniatures if they're varnished, I've been told, but I have not tried it yet. Yeah, I think that green adds a lot of character there. It makes it look just a little less samey. And it's not just all green. And we'll weather up weapons here in a minute.
As I walked down the Broadway one evening in July, I met a maid who asked me trade, and a sailor lad says I, and away is Santee, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? To Tiffany's I took her, I did not mind expense. I bought her 2 gold earrings and they cost me 15 cents. And away is Santee, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? Says she, a lime juice sailor, now see me home you may. But when we reached her cottage door, she this to me did say, and away is Santee, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? My flashman, he's a Yankee, with his hair cut short behind. He wears a pair of long sea boots and he sails in the Black Ball Line. And away is Santee, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? He's homeward bound this evening, and with me he will stay. So get a move on, sailor boy, get cracking on.
What color did I paint the flute?
Oh,
What?
you New York girls, can't you dance the polka?
The hell are you talking about, Travis?
So I kissed her hard and proper, for her flashman came. And fare you well, me Bowery gal, I know your little game. And away is Santee, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls,
Sorry, I was just thrown off by the flute.
next morn. Don't ever fool around with girls, you're safer off Cape Horn. And away is Santee, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka?
Yeah, I'm liking the way this green looks. Just kind of like hitting the cracks and sort of like spiraling down. I painted his little penis guard there, gold and silver. Because he has a little guard on his penis. Because the sculptor didn't give him one, I guess. Alright, let's weather up this silver a little bit. We'll add a little bit of brown to it. Ooh, nickel oxide. I actually have some. I was just about to ask if anybody knows off the top of their head how tarnished gold looks. I have an old pot. I'm adding very little of this because I don't want to go too crazy. I don't want to look like it's glowing or anything crazy like that. Alright, let's add a little bit of, speaking of technical paints. Is it in here? I'm trying to remember where I put everything. I got some new, like, shelving that I haven't, that I've been using, and I have a little bit of, this, which is another old pot, Typhus Corrosion. This stuff is pretty good. Looks like dirt. I don't recommend using a good brush to put it on, though. Because it's basically just sort of it's like a brown, very liquidy paint with some grit in it. It makes your blades and it makes stuff look like it's got dirt on it and rust. Trying to go overboard with this stuff. This is Typhus Corrosion. It's basically a wash with some grit in it. And when it dries, it kind of looks like dirt. So I could even take this in, like, if I wanted to, and I'll do a little bit of it here. Is like I'll add like some dirt spots to him, like, and when it dries, it has a little bit of texture on it. I think it looks pretty good. How do we feel? I think this gargoyle is done, ladies and gentlemen. So I think we're gonna call this guy finished, and then we're going to we'll raid out to someone else. If you have a suggestion for someone to raid to, please let me know. I would love to check out other painting streamers if anybody is online streaming right now. But yeah, pretty good. All right. Whew. Solid progress tonight. All right, I'm gonna take everybody on a trip. We're gonna go look for somebody to raid out to. Woo! Ugh. Okay. So let's look. See if anybody I'm following is streaming. Ivory Spider is streaming. Let's see. Let's look in the miniatures and models. There we go. All right. See if I recognize anybody. Ivory Spider, I know that one. But if there's somebody, like I said, if there's somebody you like, please let me know and I'll follow them. Or follow them, I'll raid out to them. I'll probably give them a follow. Okay, I think we'll just do we'll just raid out to Ivory Spider. I've raided out to them before. They're a very good painter. So I'll pop them up here right now. I'll mute them. Okay, so we are going to do that. I'm going to put on my farewell song. That's right, I have a farewell song that I play every time I end the stream. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So we're going to raid Ivory Spider. And I'd like to thank everybody for hanging out. And thanks everybody for the follows, if you followed. And thank you to the raiders for hanging out. Yeah. This was a pretty fun stream, and we had a lot of fun painting the Gargoyle, and it came out pretty well, I think. So, and thanks everybody for their input. And yeah, exclamation mark raid. Exclamation mark sub raid. I don't think works anymore. It doesn't, so don't use sub raid. Because I changed my name to Blue Wizard Studio. I'm not Felix Sunblade anymore. So exclamation mark raid probably shouldn't use either. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, everybody. We're gonna raid over here, and we will, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. And I'll see you over on Ivory Spider's channel. So have a good night.
I am the most monogamous slut you've ever met.